Okay, so parasite control begins outside. So fly sprays are a great option, especially sweat resistant. They can last a while, so that's one thing. You can buy baits. There's even drops, like if you're used to cats and dogs, the drops that you can put on them. Facial, you can use this. But one of the good things you could do is maybe a face mask. That's one thing that might be useful to have. You can even get fly sheets, although in the heat of the summer that might be an issue there. But there's a lot of different options. Cheaper isn't always better, so you can find some that are a little bit cheaper, but especially the sweat resistant is really helpful. So again, read your products, decide from there what works best for your program. Okay, so say the fly spray, maybe it's a little difficult to do and hard for you to do. Some people will do a feed through, and these are what they are here. So you top dress and put that on the feed, and that is supposedly supposed to help with that fly control. And so that might be an option for you, just basic management. So as you see over here, you've got your muck rakes that you might want to look at. Cleaning your stalls. So keeping up with that will reduce your parasites. So control of your environment also helps with that. Okay, so I'm looking for a dewormer for the fall. So I'm going to look for ivermectin that has tapeworm, so like Zimetrin Gold, because tapeworms is an issue in the fall. If I have a high shutter of deworming, I may come back later in the fall and do this moxidextrin, and then in the spring I'll just go to a plain ivermectin, and you can get like a generic ivermectin or like the more expensive. Really, I haven't found any differences between there. Panicure is really good for if you've got a younger foal, or if you've got one that's really infested with deworming. I would go with like doing like a couple days of Panicure, because it can shut it off a little easier rather than a big dose. But again, you want to rotate through the seasons, and so that's why there's so many different products that you see. During the heat of the summer, a lot of times we won't, because the heat will end up killing off a lot of that the worms or the parasites. So again, look at your season. Each area of the country is a little bit different, and then look at how much your horse sheds of parasites. So a high shedder, lots of parasites, then you're going to maybe do an additional, instead of 3 different products per year, you may do 4. Okay, so this is an oral dewormer that you're going to just a paste. You can top dress with food on top of your food. Like in this case, this is an example, or this one, we've got goats, and we'll do that rather than the paste. Biggest problem with this, if you have horses that sort through or drop food, you just don't really know. So that's the biggest issue with these. Also, it doesn't go different types of deworming product, it's just one, so your parasites could build up a resistance. So you do want to be cautious about that. I'm not a big fan. I use it for my goats just because that's the option, but I wouldn't plan on this for the horses. But some people like it. I've just seen a lot of parasite resistance by overusing this, so you do want to watch out for that. So keep that in mind. So a lot of us utilize this paste dewormer. It's real easy, just stick it right in their mouth, and so that's a little easier to utilize.